Good afternoon, everyone. I'm meteorologist James Longwith with Dynamic Weather Agency LLC. Today, we're going to continue to talk about that major winter storm system we've been talking about in our previous videos as it begins to push its way out of the Great Plains into the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region, bringing some significant snowfall to that area with big white swaths of 8 to 12 inches of snow. Further to the south of that region, across parts of Kentucky and Tennessee, along the Tennessee Valley, southern Ohio Valley, we do have some, mixed precipitation, some sleet and some freezing rain conditions occurring across there. But as we move our way further to the southeast, we do have some heavy rain conditions, along with some severe weather and some active tornado watches and severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings as we move into the evening hours. Now, before I get any further into today's video, I do want to encourage you guys to hit that like button down below and subscribe to our channel. Again, share this video with your friends and family so we can help make them weather aware before the weather impacts them. You can check us out on our social media pages where you can send us your weather-related photos and videos that we'd love to share in our future and upcoming videos. Again, those links can be found down below in the description section of the video. You can also visit us online at dynamicweatheragency.com for more weather-related information and content. And last but not least, be sure to check us out on our Patreon page to help support this channel so I can continue to make weather-related videos like this or storm chasing videos like you can see on our channel, along with funding some of our severe weather research we have going on here at Dynamic Weather Agency LLC. Again, we have many different packages and tiers for you guys to choose from with many exclusive content, early access, and perks to our Patreon subscribers. So be sure to check that out. And again, that link is going to be found down below in the description section of this video. Now, going back to our current national Doppler radar this afternoon, again, taking a closer look across parts of the southeast region this morning. Again, we have lots of convective thunderstorms initiating across parts of the Florida Panhandle, northern Florida, into parts of southern Georgia. We have some tornado watches currently in effect across this region. You can see some of those severe thunderstorm warnings and tornado warnings in effect across the region, along with some lightning and heavy rain going to be associated with these thunderstorms. The Storm Prediction Center does have an enhanced risk for severe weather across this area. We'll take a look at that a little bit later on in this video. Primarily for, again, that threat for some tornadoes, with a couple of intense tornadoes possible across this region, with damaging wind gusts from 75 to 80 miles per hour across this region. Some of those maximum damaging wind gusts, along with the threat for some hail up to 1.5 inches across the region. Now, taking a little bit of a closer look at parts of the, Midwest region, again, you can see some of that snow conditions and some of that heavy snow occurring across parts of Illinois and Indiana, along with some of that sleet and freezing rain conditions further to the south, again, across parts of Kentucky and Tennessee this afternoon, making for difficult travel conditions across these areas, which will make for some difficult travel conditions for your evening commute on your way home from work. Now, taking a look at our headlines for today's video, again, we're going to take a look at those current National Weather Service hazards. We'll be taking a look at those mesoscale discussions in effect. We'll also be taking a look at those winter weather watches, warnings, and advisories. Next, we'll be taking a look at that WSSI index, that winter storm severity index. Along with, we'll start talking about this major winter storm system. We'll take a look at those weather models, the forecasted accumulated snowfall with this major winter storm system. We'll also go into the timing, and then we'll be taking a look at some of that severe weather across parts of the southeast. Now, again, getting into this major winter storm system, we do have quite a few mesoscale discussions in effect. We do have one across parts of the Ohio Valley region this morning, again, for areas of moderate to heavy snow overspreading the region during the next 3 to 6 hours, with accumulations of 1 to 2 inches per hour possible in some heavy snow bands across this region. A few areas of sleet may also mix with some of the snow across parts of Kentucky. And then we have another mesoscale discussion across parts of the Ohio Valley, even into parts of the mid-Atlantic, for light to moderate freezing rain to overspread the area this afternoon and evening, with basically freezing rain accumulations of 0.05 of an inch to 1/10 of an inch per 3-hour accumulations of freezing rain are expected across this region. And then again, we do have some freezing rain conditions with this mesoscale discussion stretching from the lower Mississippi Valley all the way up into Kentucky. Freezing rain rates may reach or exceed up to 0.2 of an inch per hour at times within this region. Now, taking a look at those National Weather Service current winter weather watches, warnings, and advisories. Those purples are those winter weather advisories. Those pinks are those winter storm warnings. Those blue indigo colors, as you see over Oklahoma, those are those winter storm watches. And those magenta colors are those ice storm warnings currently in effect. Now, taking a look at the Pacific Northwest, again, those purples are those winter weather advisories, and those pinks are those winter storm warnings, mainly confined to the higher elevations of the Cascades, Northern Rockies, Sierra Nevada, Rocky Mountain region, across parts of the northwestern United States, even across parts of the Southwest. Again, mainly to those higher elevations. You can see those winter weather advisories in the Sierra Nevadas, even along the Colorado Plateau in southwestern Colorado and northeastern Arizona, and even some of those higher elevations in parts of Utah this afternoon. Taking a look at parts of the south central United States, the lower Mississippi Valley, you can see some of those winter storm warnings in effect, where places like Houston, Shreveport, Alexandria, Texarkana, Little Rock, Jonesboro, Memphis, Jackson, Mississippi, Nashville this afternoon. Again, you can see some of those ice storm warnings near Huntsville, Alabama this afternoon. Back into Oklahoma, we do have some winter storm watches in effect. This is going to be for that next system you'll see beginning to move its way on in as we take a look at our Futurecast radar and our winter storm severity index. Now, taking a closer look at parts of the Ohio Valley, Midwest, you can see places like Evansville, St. Louis, Springfield, Chicago, Fort Wayne, Kokomo, Muncie, Vincennes, Columbus, Dayton, Toledo, Detroit, Cleveland, Erie, Rochester, Pittsburgh, all within some of these winter storm warnings. Places like Grand Rapids, Peoria, all within some of those winter weather advisories. And then you can see some of those winter, some of those ice storm warnings in parts of eastern Kentucky and western West Virginia, and even parts of southeastern Ohio this afternoon. Taking a closer look at the Northeast, again, places like Erie, Buffalo, Syracuse, Burlington, within some of those winter storm warnings. Again, we'll see some lake effect snow across Lake Erie, Lake Ontario. You can see some of those winter weather advisories for Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Manchester, Portland, Maine, Baltimore, kind of within some of those winter weather advisories. Again, some isolated ice storm warnings within some of these areas of Pennsylvania and even parts of northern New Jersey. So what do these winter storm products mean? These winter storm warnings, watches, and winter weather advisories. Again, those winter storm watches mean that conditions are possible for snow, sleet, and ice, and that you should be prepared. Confidence is medium that a winter storm could produce heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain and cause significant impacts across that region. Those winter weather advisories are sub-warning level criteria, so winter weather is expected and that you should still exercise caution. Limited amounts of wintry precipitation or patchy blowing snow would cause slick conditions that could affect travel, and precautions are not taken. However, it says precautions are not taken. You should, however, do take some precautions with this winter storm system, as the potential is there for some significant snowfall and icing with this major winter storm system. And again, those winter storm warnings mean that snow, sleet, and ice is expected and that you should take action now. Confidence is high that this winter storm will produce heavy snow, sleet, freezing rain, and cause significant impacts, as we'll take a look on our winter storm severity index. Now, taking a look at that winter storm severity index, the WSSI, what components are going into this index? Well, first of all, this index is taking a look at the snow amount, the amount of accumulated snowfall with this major winter storm system, along with the rate at which the snow is falling. It's also taking into account the snow load, so basically the weight of the snow. This is going to be a light, fluffy snow or a wet, heavy, thick type snow. It's also taking a look at some wind components. Are we going to see some blowing or drifting snow? And with that, could that cause some visibility issues for some blizzard conditions? As the definition of a blizzard is considerable falling and or blowing snow. So you don't have to have actual falling snow. You just need some blowing snow to reduce visibility to under a quarter of a mile with sustained wind gusts of 35 miles an hour or greater. And these conditions must continue or last for at least 3 consecutive hours or more. So with that, could we see some blizzard-like criteria or some blizzard conditions with this potential not with this potential, but with this major winter storm system, as we will see some areas see some 20 to 30 mile an hour wind gusts, with some isolated areas up to 35 mile an hour wind gusts. Now, will these wind gusts sustain for 3 hours or more? That is still unclear, as we have no blizzard warnings currently out in effect, but there is multiple areas, especially across the Midwest and Ohio Valley, that could see some blizzard-like conditions. Last but not least, this winter storm severity index is also taking a look at the potential for surfaces to become covered in ice with that flash freeze, and then the amount of accumulating ice with this major winter storm system. Now, again, taking a look at this major winter storm system today, we're going to watch this winter storm system move its way out of the Great Plains into the Midwest Ohio Valley region, eventually moving its way into the Northeast. You can see, again, those moderate to even major impacts with this major winter storm system, with some extreme impacts in some of those more populated city areas. As you can see, places like Louisville, Cincinnati, even places like Indianapolis kind of have some of those more extreme impacts, more confined to those higher population areas due to the more impacts to society due to the higher populations within those regions. As we move into tomorrow, we're going to be watching for our next system begin to move its way into parts of the, South Central Plains. As we move into tomorrow, again, some moderate to even major impacts with this major winter storm system with another round of snow. And even as we move into the next day, we will still see some impacts with this major winter storm system moving its way further to the east with a slight eastward progression of this. But again, we are going to be having our eyes onto this next major winter storm system as it begins to move its way through the south central United States into the Central Plains, up into the Midwest again, and eventually again into the Northeast, bringing another round of snow. Now, again, taking a look at that winter storm severity index, those minor impacts roughly equate to those NWS advisory level criteria. Minor disruptions to those who are not prepared, with minimal recovery time needed, while those moderate impacts roughly equate to those NWS warning level criteria, like those winter storm warnings, with definite impacts to those with no preparation, with perhaps a day or two of recovery time, while those major impacts are significant impacts even to those with who are prepared for this major winter storm system with several days of recovery time. And those extreme impacts are historic, widespread, severe impacts with many days to at least of a week of recovery time, according to the Winter Storm Severity Index scale. Taking a look at our high-resolution Futurecast radar. Again, today we're going to be watching that snow across parts of the Ohio Valley and Midwest region eventually move its way off into the Northeast, impacting that region with some lingering snow across parts of the Midwest. Across the Southeast, we'll be looking for that potential for some severe weather and heavy rain. And then across parts of the Tennessee Valley into the Mid-Atlantic and even parts of the southern portions of the Northeast, we'll be watching some of that freezing rain and sleet conditions continue to move its way on into there. So as we move in throughout the rest of this afternoon into the evening hours, snow conditions occurring across parts of the Ohio Valley into the Midwest, moving its way into the Northeast. You can see some of that freezing rain across parts of the Tennessee Valley region, moving its way into the Ohio Valley and even into parts of the Mid-Atlantic. As we continue into tomorrow, into our morning commute, we have some freezing rain conditions and sleet occurring across parts of the Northeast, snow conditions across parts of the Ohio Valley and even across parts of the Northeast. But as we move in further into Tuesday, we'll watch this area of energy kind of over the Four Corners region move its way over the Rocky Mountains, and we'll watch the development of our next low pressure system and our next potential winter storm system as he moves into the southern plains and into the lower Mississippi Valley, bringing another round of heavy snow and freezing rain conditions across this region as we move into Wednesday and even into parts of Thursday as this system moves its way again across parts of the Central Plains into the Midwest and eventually its way into the Northeast, with that again another round of severe weather across parts of the lower Mississippi Valley region. Now, not only is significant snowfall a possibility with this major winter storm system, we're still monitoring that potential for significant icing with this major winter storm system, as we'll see significant icing still continue across parts of the south central United States in the lower Mississippi Valley, stretching its way all the way through the Tennessee Valley and even into parts of the Ohio Valley and Mid-Atlantic, and eventually its way off into the Northeast. You can see some significant icing up to half an inch to even close to an inch, according to the National Weather Service's forecast, with the maximum right here in the top right corner of 0.9 inches, with this potential winter storm system with some of that more significant ice accumulations right here in eastern Kentucky, near the Appalachian Mountain region. Within this area that can see some significant ice accumulation, with, again, of course, near 0.3 of an inch of icing, near 6.6 inches here in Louisiana, with that next potential major winter storm system that we could be seeing, with another round of icing moving its way on through. Now, taking a look at the European model for snowfall for the next 72 hours, nice swath of heavy snow stretching from Arkansas all the way up into the northeast. You can see this nice significant snow swath of basically 6 to 12 inches of snow, as depicted by this purple and even some of these light pink values within this region. Taking a look at the GFS model is, again, a little bit more high resolution than the European model, again showing quite a good consensus within the track, with a little bit more of an eastward expansion to some of the snowfall, with more significant snowfall still occurring across parts of the south central United States over the next 72 hours, with some more snow across parts of the mid-Atlantic that the European model wasn't suggesting. So that's something that we'll have to take in consideration when looking at the GFS model. Germany icon looking similar to the European model. Again, significant swath of snowfall, 6 to 12 inches, stretching from Arkansas to the northeast. Not as much snowfall across the mid-Atlantic as the GFS model was depicting. Here's the UK Met model solution. Again, quite similar track of the low pressure system and where that heavy snowfall is. A little bit further eastward of expansion of some of that heavy snowfall across parts of the south central United States that the European model was not showing up. The UK Met is showing. Here is the Canadian model for the next 72 hours. Again, significant snowfall, nice big swath from Arkansas up into the northeast. Here is the National Weather Service blend of models. Again, like I always say in all my videos, this is one of my favorite model solutions. This model is, again, showing that significant snowfall from Arkansas up into the northeast. Nice big swath of basically 8 to 12 inches of snowfall. So this is showing a little bit more significant snowfall than the other models, which I think this is more on track of what is quite possible in the realms of what is going to happen. This is the National Weather Service forecast for the next 66 hours. The 72-hour panel, for some reason, did not upload. You can see, again, that significant snowfall stretching all the way from even back in Oklahoma, which I think some of this is painted from that next storm system that we're going to see. But basically, significant snowfall from Arkansas all the way up into the northeast. Take a look at some of the snowfall totals across parts of Indiana and Ohio. Nice swath of 8 to 12 inches of snow, with even some areas of 12 to 16 inches of snow across Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, as we showed on our hand-drawn snowfall maps yesterday, which we have not updated today because our confidence is that good that we are not updating our snowfall forecast maps from yesterday, because everything seems to be verifying quite well. Taking a look at the European ensemble, again, similar to the regular European model solution. Here's the probabilities for snowfall greater than 3 inches. You can see quite high probabilities for areas to see over 3 inches of snow. And here's the probabilities for areas to see over 6 inches of snowfall. Taking a look at our in-house model for our forecast for the next 72 hours. Again, significant snowfall stretching all the way from basically Arkansas all the way up into the northeast. You can see we have depicted some of that snowfall. Again, across Oklahoma and Arkansas, that is with kind of the two systems moving on through. So you got some of the snowfall from today and even from the next couple of days with that next system moving on in. So that's why you're seeing some higher snowfall totals across that region. But again, nice swath of 8 to 12 inches of snow across parts of the Midwest and even into the Northeast. Taking a look at the Northwest, mountain snow conditions continue across the Cascades, Northern Rockies, even some of the higher elevations of Utah and even into the Rockies in Colorado. Again, across parts of the Southeast, we do have some snowfall across parts of the Colorado Plateau and even the Mongolian Rim. Across the Great Plains region, again, you can see we have some significant snowfall across parts of Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Missouri. Again, this is kind of with those two systems, with that next system that's going to be pushing its way on in. 8 to 12 inches of snow expected over the next, 72 hours across Fort Smith, Fayetteville, Little Rock, Jonesboro area. over the next 72 hours. Taking a closer look at the Midwest, again, a nice wide swath of 8 to 12 inches of snow stretching basically all the way from Evansville, including places like Bloomington, Indianapolis, Kokomo, Muncie, Fort Wayne, Lima, Dayton, Cincinnati, Mansfield, Toledo, Detroit, Cleveland, Youngstown, Erie, all within some of this nice swath of 8 to 12 inches of snow with this major winter storm system. You see places in that 5 to 8, kind of like South Bend, Kankakee, Champaign, Mount Vernon, Vincennes, Lexington, Bowling Green, kind of within that area of 5 to 8 inches of snow with this major winter storm. Taking a look at the Northeast, again, significant snowfall across this area, especially across parts of Lake Erie and Lake Ontario, with some lake enhancement snow across that region. Now, taking a look at severe weather, taking a look at our storm coverage, Storm Track Central, taking a look at our Storm Prediction Center Day 1 Convective Outlook, we do have a Level 3 enhanced risk for severe weather across parts of Florida and southern Georgia today. We do have a couple of mesoscale discussions out for the risk of severe weather. A risk for locally damaging winds and a tornado or two is increasing across parts of northern Florida. Again, we have an increasing tornado threat across portions of the Florida Panhandle, where we have a tornado watch currently in effect across that region too. Now, taking a look across parts of northern Florida and southern Georgia, we do have a tornado watch currently in effect across the region. For the western portions of this watch, they will expire across this region at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, while the eastern portions of this watch will expire around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The primary threats include a few tornadoes, and a couple of intense tornadoes are possible within the watch area. Scatter damaging wind gusts with isolated significant gusts up to 75, even 80 miles per hour are possible within the watch area, along with some isolated large hail events up to 1.5 inches in diameter. Taking a look at Day 2 across parts of southern Florida, we do have a Level 1 marginal risk for severe weather for some damaging winds, isolated large hail, and again, some isolated tornado threat. And as we move into Day 3, we do have a Level 2 slight risk for severe weather along the Gulf Coast of southern Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida, and even parts of southeastern Louisiana, again, for some isolated tornadoes and marginal damaging wind gusts. Again, I would like to thank you guys for checking out today's video. Be sure to hit that like button down below and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already, and share this video with your friends and family, as here at Dynamic Weather Agency LLC, we are a Weather Ready Nation ambassador with the National Weather Service. So we are here to promote a Weather Ready Nation and help inform you guys of the weather before it happens. Again, I'm meteorologist James Longwith signing off for today. You guys have a great and wonderful day and stay safe out there.